Let's get to the money.
Let's get to the
Money.
Let's get to the
Money. Let's get to the motherfucking money.
Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the ass, screaming fuck the bookies. Woke up in the morning, grab my little black book. Yesterday can eat a dick, cause we lost by the hook. Can't win them all, so you never see me get shook. Today's a new day, the bookmakers getting cooked. When I spot a dirty K, the 4 units getting played. Always find the value, I would never be afraid. Scary money don't win, but I'm not going all in unless I see a bet I love, then I put my balls on a bookie's chin. Let it all soak in, doubling my bread, winning money with my friends. If you got the itch and you wanna go big, follow Sharpie bets and you gon' really fucking win. This is not financial advice, it's entertainment. But if I find the right price, believe I'm parlaying it. You can see my spreadsheet, I'm winning, not just saying it. Profit in the green every week, I'm never negative. I can bet an ace or a shitty old picture. Pick the right spots cause I'm the K-pop whisperer. Shut up when I speak until you finally get the picture. I'm the best in the world, tell me you getting richer. Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the air screaming fuck the bookies.
Let's get to the motherfucking monies.
Let's get to the motherfucking monies. Welcome to the best MLB prop show on God's green earth. I'm your host, Sharpie's Bets, and it's Friday, so you know what that means. We bring in the only guy I talk K-props with on this show, and it happens to be our daily conversation right in front of you. I know him as Chris. Y'all know him as Spin Doc. How you doing, my guy?
Doing good. Been another good week, and I told my VIP this morning. Every day I whittle the whole card down to a finalist list, and some days the list is pretty small. It might only be 5 or 6, and that's what I pick my plays from. Today was gigantic. Today was double digits for the first time in a long time. So there's a lot of spots that I'm liking, and interestingly enough, all of them happen to be guys we're talking about. So let's do it.
I was gonna say, how do you got so many guys? And then I'm sitting there and like, well, if you're betting or looking at my guys, and you also look at the shitty guys, yeah, you got a giant card today because everything's screaming crazy shit today. Like they're either good spots or some weird shit going on, and we'll talk about that when we get there, guys. But on this show, we will talk the opening lines of pitching props as well as the closing K prop line 30 minutes prior to the show going live. So do me a favor, if you like what you're hearing, smash that like button. If you're new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button as well. And if you tailed Shota this morning, my bad. I mean, I bet him too. It is what it is, guys. I'll say it 100 million times. You got to do your work. I can do mine. And if you want to go out there and give your butt cheeks up, I mean, I didn't have that in the script. Now, do I have the Mets hitting lefties? Yes. I know. I get it. Oh, they're hitting fucking lefties. I get that, guys. I mean, I get it. But they've only gotten 2 runs off of Ranger Suarez and Luzardo. So I expected him to keep it down to a minimal today. I was wrong. Hopefully I'm not wrong too many other times today, or else my butthole and wallet will be hurting. Let's talk about the first guy, Jack Flaherty versus the White Sox, which is, man, I probably wouldn't even have been started to bet Jack Flaherty until this man next to me put me onto him, and then it's just been a wonderful thing. He's striking people out this year. I did not write his shit in, so we're not even going to write that. Morning line was 6.5 was even money to the best line available now is -118 on FanDuel to that 6.5. Pitching outs was 17.5, -160 juice to the over, whereas earned runs are at a 1.5, -135 juice to the under. Has now moved 10 cents to the under as well. They're expecting him to dominate. Projected lineup is 6 righties and 3 lefties. Let's talk Mr. Flaherty.
All right. So your strikeout percentage that you were going to say 33.3 is his K percentage for the year, 33.6 at home. But look, with Flaherty, this is really, is he going to go long enough to get this? Is he going to go longer than 5 innings? So For those of you that don't know, 2 starts ago, he did pull himself out of the game against the Rangers when he was cruise control and actually throwing, I think, a 3-hitter because of back problems, back tightness. He got a shot in his back before his last start, went out and had a great start, but only went 5 innings and only threw 70-ish pitches. Now, the outs prop would have you believe that he's probably going to go longer than that. That the last start that Flaherty had was more of a maintenance start just to make sure that he could get his stuff back. His velo was fine. His spin was fine. So for me, this boils down to if you think Flaherty will come anywhere close to his outs prop. If you do, it's really hard to stay off the over. So you go through the projected lineup here, as Sharpie said, with 6 and 3. But you look at guys in the lineup like Robert, who's going to be projected to be batting third, has a 52.4% whiff percentage to the slider, and also makes chase contact just 37.5% of the time. That is way below MLB hitter average of 56.9. He's also K'd twice in 3 appearances versus Flaherty lifetime. And that was before he got to Detroit and the pitching staff changed his metrics, which was what changed some of his delivery mechanics. And that was what turned him on to me. You also go down the list and you have DeJong, who's K'd 3 and 4 times, and who has an insane whiff percentage against a 4-seam fastball, which is Flaherty's primary pitch. The White Sox as a team have a high chase rate, 35.6% compared to a league average of 32. And also they have a very, their contact rate when they do is under average as well. The only thing that's giving me a little pause on this one, because this is the kind of stuff that just digs at me, so I'm hoping I can get over it myself, is when you go and you look at his K bands, and for those that don't know what K bands are, that's where you can get bet on the pitcher to have a specific range of strikeouts. So the only bands that they just do bands in order. So it's the 5-6 band is plus 100, even money. The 7 to 8 band is plus 175. So when that normally happens, you can see it where, okay, yeah, we think he can get 7, but there's a little bit of concern that maybe he doesn't go long enough to get it. If this is the lineup that the White Sox are going to roll out, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys that are under average or MLB average in chase contact. The only one, and the ones that are over are significantly over. So you have 5 guys that he has a pretty decent potential to get if he's got his stuff, which the lines suggest that they are. So my in general for Flaherty is, if you think that he's back, if you think he's going to go 90 plus pitches, over's got to be the way to look.
And that's what I'm going to be talking about. But I might be a vagina with my over, but let's get to it. He gets the White Sox guys who over the last 15 days, they're not walking. They're striking out near 25% of the time with a middle-of-the-pack isolated power. Now let's go see who they seen in that time span. As Hunter Brown, who has been that dude the last 8 games, went 6 innings, went with just 1 earned run while just striking out 6. Bryce Miller went 7 innings, allowed 0 earned runs while striking out 8. And then Logan Gilbert, 6.2 innings, gave up 3 runs, but he also struck himself out 8. With games versus the Red Sox and Cubs, guys who don't have a right-handed pitcher, I'd bet an over with. So they're not hitting the good guys, and the strikeouts are definitely there. Now, it's been simple, for me to bet Flaherty since I got to the party, which, yeah, I was late, as you do got to show me a few things before I start to bet on you. And when he kept preaching to me next to me, Chris kept preaching to me like, dude, he changed his mechanics. He's a different dude. Then it got to the point of, do they just not know how to line him? Are they fucking with me, bro? And I was looking, I'm like, bro, This seems too easy, but they don't know how to line this fucker, bro. At the end of the day, they just don't know how to line Flaherty. Well, right now, they do got a little bit of something in their back pocket. Like he said, guys, he is coming off of that back injection for some discomfort. And I know back pain is real, guys. And if I do bet him, it'll probably just be a half unit, as I have seen Clayton Kershaw for years and years and years deal with back pain. It becomes How can you manage it as it just don't go away, guys? And he did pitch 74 pitches in his last game. You could project him to go around 90, but I'd like to know he's going 100 if needed to be betting that 6.5. But at the end of the day, guys, I still will probably be on that over, as I do see rain potentially in this game. But when you go through and look at it hour by hour, it shows nothing higher than 15%. So that to me tells me this game should go with no problems, even if it does get a little pee from God on them. So as always, guys, just double check an hour or so before the game just to make sure nothing has changed. So all in all, guys, I have no bet in, but I am looking to bet this guy. As what he said, guys, with the chase contact, he's a guy that I don't look for chase contact since I've learned to bet him. I just look for chase. This man is 12.5% better than league average when it comes to chase contact, guys. In the 95th percentile on his breaking run when it comes to his breaking pitches. You ain't going to make contact if you're good at making contact. That's what that tells me with this man, guys. Along with the whiff that's in this lineup, it's over or nothing, guys. And I just am going to wait for the lineups personally, and I will tweet it out, but I won't be on it for more than a half unit, as if this dude's back flares up, I ain't going to be too fucking invested in it personally, but I definitely like the spot he's in. Even on 90 pitches, I still like it, as in he did see them the very first game of the year. He went 6 innings, gave up 1 earned run, and he had 7 strikeouts on 87 pitches. So it is definitely there. The chase is there, guys. We've got 7 guys in this projected lineup that are league average or worse when it comes to chase. And if you want to chase versus this man, good fucking luck. Good fucking luck. So Flaherty, guys, to the moon and back. The only thing we got to be worried about is a pitch count and his bat. So be very careful, even though it would seem like a 3, 4, 5 unit fucking play right now. If he was healthy, fuck yes, I would. I would pay the juice and slam it. But be careful, guys, at the end of the day. That's all I'm going to say. But it's over or nothing with this man today.
100% agree with that. Final thought for me is, yeah, I believe that the line is set. Actually, all of his lines are set in such a way where the books protect themselves against the fact that, okay, yeah, he could just go decimate this lineup, especially when you look at hits and earned runs allowed. Obviously, the White Sox are anemic offensively anyway, but when you have an under 4.5 for hits allowed, and then you also have an under 1.5 for the where the juice is lying right now, like my man said, I think that they're double protecting themselves, because if he only does go out and pitch 5 innings, or maybe, like, let's just say he goes 75, 80 pitches, you probably protect yourself against the hits and the earned runs, because that's like a whip of like 1-ish, which is where he's been. So you protect yourself that way. If he goes out and smacks, you protect yourself anyway, because even if he goes long and smacks, he's probably not going to give up 5 or more hits. So this line is set right where it should be for the books to protect themselves, which tells me that they might not have a whole lot of inside intel on how long is he going to go today. So they're protecting themselves against both possible outcomes. The only type of outcome that these lines don't protect them against is if he goes like a very short period of time, doesn't strike anybody out, and just gets obliterated, which against the White Sox at home, you can probably figure it out for yourself what the chances of that happening are. So a very strategic line to me set by the books today on Flaherty. Agree with my man totally. Over or nothing is the only way you can do it.
I might even single game parlay it, like take him down to the 6. And
Yeah.
even if the altered team total doesn't make the juice wise, just the regular team total, then they're not going to get 4 runs today off of Flaherty in them if he goes 6 personally. But he's got to do his job and not be freaking Shota the Bumya. But let's talk this next man on the list, who our caps, bro, is going to be just thrown out the fucking window right now on this man we're about to talk about, as the books have already pulled his line off, and we're going to talk Chris Sale, as the Yankees decided to run out a fucking horrendous lineup versus this man right now. So Let's talk us a little Chris Sale, guys, at the Yankees. Morning line is 6.5, minus 145 on DraftKings, where it was 7.5 on FanDuel. It did come down to minus 145 everywhere, but right now it is blanked out. If you go click on it, you can't even bet anything Chris Sale right now, as they decided to flip the lineup and bring in some fucking cuck named Jones and Rice. And I'm not talking about Rice-A-Roni treats, guys. These are two MLB baseball players who look like they're going to be taking some of their first left-handed swings versus a guy named Chris Sale, guys. So what the fuck are the Yankees doing? I don't know. But something was up. Books knew something was up. Maybe FanDuel knew that this lineup was coming eventually. But this line should definitely be a 7.5 and may have juice on it by the time it comes out. Let's talk Chris Sale.
Yeah, if you didn't get your 6.5 in, there's no chance you're seeing that again. I had the 6.5 being pretty reasonably accurate and correct for the projected lineup. Obviously, as my man just said, you can probably throw that out the window because of these two new guys that are in. It's an interesting lineup. It's almost a sacrificial lineup, to be quite honest with you. But look, Sale, 77 strikeouts and 269 lifetime plate appearances at Yankee Stadium. That's a 28.6% lifetime K percentage, and then you also see that this is in 12 total games. So he's averaging 6.42 Ks per game at Yankee Stadium. He has not started there since 2022 when he was with the Red Sox. A little bit different pitcher now, still a lot of the same tendencies. The thing that I look at with this one, and this is team wide with the Yankees, is that over the last 14 days, and this is pretty much for the season, the Yankees have the lowest zone swing percentage in Major League Baseball over the last 14 days at 63.6%. Average is 69.8. So this has actually been pretty consistent with the entire year. Why does that matter? Well, the Yankees are able to recover and not strike out when they go down 0-1 in the count. They only have a 28.5% K percentage. League average is usually about 33 to 35, so it's actually pretty good. The problem is the man they're facing, good Lord, 40.2% K percentage when he gets ahead 0-1. So if these guys are going to stand in there and take first pitch, then Sale would be very wise, if you study the metrics, to just go fastball right away and get some early strikes, because when he gets up, he is just lethal in the count. The thing I've talked about before on this show, and even showed a graph about it, was the horizontal break on his slider and how it was down over the last month or so. That has normalized a little bit. It's still a little bit below average, but his max inches of break is back up to 16 when it was hovering in the 11 to 12 range. So when his slider is working, he can strike guys out like crazy. And only one team, Sale has only faced one team recently, meaning in the last month and a half, that has a zone swing rate as low as the Yankees. And that was on the road, and that was the Nationals, where he torched them for 10. So there's really no way to play this other than over. I don't see, especially with this lineup, that under just quite honestly is not an option here. So, however, and I'm interested to see what they do on his K bands, because it was very interesting. Before this Yankees lineup dropped, his 5 to 6 band was at plus 150, which is really low for him for a band. His 7 to 8 band was plus 225. The 75-cent discrepancy is something you don't normally see. So I was seeing things on both sides before we went on the air and before this lineup came out. But now that it has, there's only one side you can look at.
I'm glad you talked, because I froze, and I don't know, my internet went out for like a minute or two. So I don't know if you kept talking because I was frozen. But
I did.
Thank you. Sale is back up, MGM minus 155. Ooh, I'm not a juice type of payer like that. Personally, if I want to bet the guy at that price, I'm going to put like 80 on the minus 155 and then put another 40 on the next one up, because I got to get the juice down. Losing that much money to me on one bet hurts. But at the end of the day, guys, like we said, this team, I'm just gonna straight up get through a little bit of a breakdown because yeah, this lineup has nothing to do with the original breakdown. Now, it was showing some rain, and at the end of the day, the rain has now come back to 15 to 23% during this game. It means at the end of the day, they should play. There may be a shower or two, and there's a slight chance that that shower is there long enough to where they fucking close the field for 40 minutes. And that would be the reason why Chris Sale would get ham hogged today, guys. As when I go through who they've seen fucking nobody, dog. Absolutely nobody. The Orioles, the Red Sox, the Twins, and the Dodgers, all who don't have a lefty, I'd bet it over with. And then they missed Raggins when they played the Royals. Oh, they seen the Giants. That's who they seen in these numbers. And Blake Snell had 7 and 4.2 innings. That fucker ain't had 7 all fucking year. He ain't been looking right all fucking year. And if that man's getting 7, I was like, they're setting a gosh dang trap over here, guys. And I actually started to see what they were seeing. But then at the end of the day, they went away from anything and everything. And they decided to put in a bunch of kids to make their to bat against Chris Sale. I'll talk about it all the time. He has the most awkward delivery in like the history of baseball. Your first time seeing this man? Oh, hell no. To the no. So guys, I'm going to run this lineup when it comes out. It is out. I mean, when I get off the show, and it's either over or nothing. And if I stay off, it's because it does show me that there is a 23% chance of rain at one point of them that where they could be pitching. And I can't get fucked by Mother Nature, guys. They've got me too many times in this pitching props game, and I ain't got them enough. So yeah, Chris Sale's over or nothing, but probably a pass for me.
Yep. Yeah. The only thing that you can do, me personally, I saw that it was. I shout out to JT for putting that in the chat, but at minus 155, if you're going to do that rather than go with the over 6.5, I would rather just take plus money at 8+. And that just is my general philosophy on strikeout props, is that if it comes down to paying like super high juice, I normally do one of 3 things. Number 1 is I just put 1 unit straight on it, and then you take a reduced payout. Number 2 is you alt it up 1, so you get plus money. Number 3 is you just throw it out the window. The percentage of time that I've tracked on ones that are high juice like that land on the high juice number exactly, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. So if you take that out of your arsenal, you have 3 choices. And like I said, that would, and all of them in this case, I wouldn't blame you if you did any of them. I really wouldn't. The pay exorbitant juice just in case, especially with potential pending weather, that one I would have an issue with. Let's talk a guy that I might bet today, but I don't know, man. I don't want to. Andrew Abbott versus the Red Sox. I knew he was next. I knew when you said it. Dude, I just by the way I was talking, we didn't even talk today, bro, and you knew who I was talking about. I knew it. Dude, he disgusts me, bro. He's disgusts me. He gets the Red Sox, guys, where we know what they're doing. His morning line was 5.5 plus 105 at MGM. It's still the same line. Pitching outs is 15.5 minus 115 at a pick'em. It's now minus 125 juice to the over. Whereas earned runs opened up at a 2.5 minus 140 juice to the over, and now it's a pick'em minus 120 each way. Projected lineup is 6 righties and 3 lefties. Let's talk, Mr. I don't want to strike people out. Man, yeah, to your point, you have a pitcher that sometimes it seems like is trying not to strike guys out, and a team that can't stop striking out no matter what they do. So a few things here. First, Abbott operates in the zone over 53% of the time. The MLB pitcher average is 48.6. That's a pretty healthy number. And Boston's zone contact rate over the last 2 weeks, which is actually pretty consistent with the whole season, 84.2. That is below average. Average is about 86.1. So it's far enough below for you to pay attention. Now, Yoshida is projected to be in and probably will be back going lefty. And all that does is just take another high potential K guy out of the lineup. It's almost a guarantee that Yoshida won't K against Abbott. But, for me, I'm looking at where two guys in this, first of all, are they in? And second of all, where are they placed? And that's Rafaela and Dahlbeck. And here's why. Against a four-seam fastball, both of these two guys have a 41.5 and 43.1% whiff rate, respectively. That's a four-seam fastball. Now, Abbott only generates a whiff percentage of 15.3% on his fastball. He uses it to set up his breaking balls when he does try to strike guys out. The point here, though, is when your whiff percentage is that high, and you go back and look, and they've had some ugly strikeouts on four-seam fastballs to some really junk fastball throwers. I've talked about it on this show and elsewhere many a times that certain pitchers like Sale use their fastball to not only set up their breaking pitches, but also to get whiffs and get guys without having to worry about hanging a breaking ball. Other guys like Abbott use it to get strikes on a guy so you can generate weak contact. Now, against his breaking pitches, more specifically his changeup, which is the one that he actually doesn't do that bad. It's got about a 30-some% whiff percentage. These two guys' whiff rate is it's out of this galaxy, 50 and 53.8. Then you look at their zone contact. I talked about when he operated in the zone. Dahlbeck, zone contact. MLB hitter average is 82%. Dahlbeck zone contact is 58.2. I'm not making that number up. It is just horrendous. So if Dahlbeck and Rafaela are both in and they are batting 8-9, I'm going to have to take a hard look at these numbers again, because then that's where I have it right at this average, and that's with Yoshida in. Now, if either one of these guys are higher than 8 or 9, and or if for some reason they decide not to put Yoshida in, then I think I might have to hold my nose and take an over here. Mike, your mic's up top.
Yeah. You got to hold your nose when you bet Abbott, man. Like, it's not going to be fun. As he gets the Red Sox, who over the last 200 plate appearances versus lefties, they're walking league average, striking out second worst in the league behind the Seattle Mariners at just a 27.5%. Yet they are smashing the ball with a top isolated power. I'd normally say let's go see who they seen, but everyone but Rodon, that bastard somehow ended on 7 that day, even though I don't know fucking how that even happened, because I looked after 3 and I think he had 1. Fuck you, Rodon. All right, back to talking baseball again. But yeah, at the end of the day, guys, my guys have hit versus them. And now is Abbott my guy? And I don't know if I can say that, guys, realistically, as we're almost halfway through the season, and we have things starting the show. As I won't look at the first 15 days, guys, but after the lineup started being the lineups and being comfortable, at least versus Major League pitching, Abbott has had 11 games. And there was a few outlier games, guys, with him slaying the Orioles, but the Ranger game was because they wanted to run 3 lefties versus him. And yes, this year his splits are disgusting, 19% versus lefties and 17 versus righties. But through his short career, guys, it is 26.5 versus the left-handed side and 22 versus the right. And the Red Sox guys are projecting 3 lefties. So that does favor Abbott. Now, the other thing, guys, where Abbott's had 5 or more were versus the Cubs, Rockies, and Mariners. And when we look to see what that category do they all fall under, it's only one. The one he was just talking about. Zone contact, guys, as they're all bottom 10 in the league when it comes to zone contact. And look where the Red Sox are. They are 5th worst when we're looking at the overall numbers. Now, his number is a 5.5, and when he has hit that number, guys, it was versus the Rockies and the Mariners, who are bottom of the league in zone contact, as well as bottom of the league in chase contact as well. The Red Sox guys are bottom 10 overall in chase contact, as well as the Red Sox running 3 lefties. Them striking out 27% of the time, as well as being bottom 5 in zone contact, bottom 10 in chase contact, means this is an easy over, right? Wrong. These are all overall numbers, guys. And me and the guy next to me are all no basic cappers. We're not just going to be like, yeah, let's go bet the overall numbers. Give me the fucking lineup. And when I run through this freaking lineup, guys, if you give me this projected lineup, it says I have to fucking play it. And I mean, I capped this guy with a stingy hand. I pretty much didn't let him strike out Devers. I didn't let him strike out fucking Yoshida, and I didn't let him strike out one. I was being a cuck towards him, guys. And I played the whiff on all the pitches, which is disgusting on everything pretty much. And then I took a heavy freaking look at zone contact, guys, as well as the chase contact. And this is stupid what we have in this lineup, guys. It's
out. The lineup's out.
Is it the same one?
It's so Duran, Gonzalez, O'Neill, Devers, Wong, Yoshida, Dahlbeck, Valdez, and Rafaela. And
damn, they took Rafe Snyder out.
And
Rafe Snyder was supposed to strike out.
Shout out to Kevin for pointing that out.
Okay, so I gotta go check it with Valdez, and now Valdez is another lefty.
He is his zone contact is slightly above league average. His chase contact is pretty significantly over league average, 65.3 compared to 57.9, and that's at 600 pitches, so that's a big enough sample size. He replaces Gonzalez, who was – what was Gonzalez? Gonzalez was at 85.7.
Yeah, Gonzalez was fucking sucked at both zone contact and chase contact.
Yeah. Well, Gonzalez was 85.7, and Valdez is 83.1. But then Dahlbeck moved up in the lineup, so it's kind of a wash. Like literally the whole thing's a wash. So I don't know about you, Sharpie, but I might have to hold my nose and take this one.
I'm gonna have to see. Okay, they didn't take Gonzalez out; they took Rafe Snyder out.
Oh, that's what. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Because Rafe Snyder was bad. Rafe Snyder was really bad, and he was at the top. So I'm gonna definitely relook it. Valdez. I mean, I'm not saying I'm scared of Valdez, but it's definitely, when we look at zone contact and chase contact, it's something we need to take into account. And as well as the books they're gonna adjust it by the time I get there. I don't need to rush, guys. If I bet it, I'm gonna bet it, and I don't need to worry where the juice is at. I gotta worry if it fucking wins. That's what I need to worry about. I don't need to rush a bet just to be like, oh, let's fucking go. They just took a guy out I had for sure striking out in the 2-hole. So I definitely want to look at it. As I was a douchebag with him, I didn't say I wasn't going to let him get Duran, Devers, or Yoshida, bro. And I mean, can he get Duran and Devers? Yes, but I was just being cuckosaurus, bro. Like,
yeah,
give me any reason to say you can't get him, and I won't. I wouldn't give nobody 1.5 because your name's Andrew Abbott. You get 1 with a plus sign. Like, yep. I can't. I was stingy. And before Rafe Snyder got pulled out, I had 6.5, bro. And I was stingy. So is Valdez a half a strikeout? If so, I'm playing him at plus money, guys. That means I've got him for 6 and it's plus money. And you know what? It is what it is. Life's a bitch and you marry one. And some days you bet Andrew fucking Abbott.
Yeah. That's what I said. I'll be holding my nose if I do, but value's value, especially because it's almost at even money right now.
Man.
It's minus 102 is the best line I can find.
I want to check this line before we talk him real quick, because I have a feeling this line moved with the lineup that they put out. Marlins, 6. Yeah, everything's 6.5 plus 135. So no, it's just gotten more plus money. It hasn't gone. I thought it was going to actually go to
they won't move it
5.5, bro. I really thought they were going to come off of it.
Nope.
George Kirby at the Marlins. Morning line was 6.5 plus 125. It is now 6.5 plus 135 on DraftKings. Pitching outs is 18.5 minus 150 juice to the under, whereas earned runs are at a 1.5 minus 160 juice to the over. The projected lineup was 5 righties, 4 lefties. I'm not sure who the hell they put in for Gordon.
Yeah, you got three. Well, you got Sanchez and Chisholm, and then Bell will bat left-handed. But so it's 6-3.
Yeah, they put in Rivera, right?
They did.
I gotta take out. Yeah, Gordon was 1.5 where he was at in the
Oh
lineup.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So that's a big drastic hit to the cap right
Oh
there.
yeah.
But let's go talk us some freaking Kirby.
All right. This is one where I thought that this might happen, and now I see it in black and white, and they did, was not batting Gordon against this man. He has a 30.9% whiff percentage against a four-seam fastball and chase contact, which I'll get to in a second, because that's what the Marlins are all about, or chasing is what the Marlins are all about. Only 55%, one of the lowest projected in the starting lineup. So with him out, then you have to rerun it. But when it comes to Miami as a team, they have the highest chase rate in the league over the last 2 weeks, 41.3%. That is absolutely insane when you figure that they are the only team that is above 38%. League average is 42. So they're free swinging. They are going after pitches. Their contact rate is slightly under average. League average is 63.3. They're at 60.9. Now, over that same period, and this goes when you chase and swing so much, highest first pitch percentage in the league. Now, you would think that going on 0-1 constantly, so frequently, is like, oh shit, you're going to strike out a lot. Not so much. I talked about before how the league average, when I compared Sale, was about 33, 34, maybe 35% when you go down 0-1. Kirby only strikes guys out 31.1% of the time. Miami, when they go down 0-1, only 28.1% of the time. It's not as much as you think. Miami is actually pretty good at making 1-2 or two strike, basically, contact. The other thing is that Kirby hasn't pitched against many high chase teams yet. Only the Astros, and you can't really compare that because it's a divisional opponent who he's seen 5 billion times, compared to a lineup which this lineup he has seen 8. So the other thing I talked earlier about the bands, and this was before the lineup came out, but his 3-4 band was plus 250. His 5-6 band was minus 134. You never see a minus on a band, ever. It doesn't.
Hey, bro, those minus 134s have fucking hit every time. I called you like 10 times that one day. I'm like, minus 134. I got to get a hold of, like, what is this
every
shit?
single time.
This bullshit.
Every time. And his 7-8 band was plus 175. What this tells me is I actually am going to look to play Kirby in some fashion, but not on his over. I don't care what the plus money is. What I really don't care about is that they keep taking on over money, but they just keep moving the juice further and further down and will not give us a 5.5. They're continuing to beg for over money to make the over so attractive that you, quote unquote, have to take it at plus money. Based on what I'm seeing, no, you do not. What I actually am probably going to do, in just as a personal play, is I'm going to take a small, tiny shot and check to see if your books offer it on 6 exactly, 6 on the nuts, because that's what my math says. That's what this band says. That's what the capping says. That's what the story says, is that he will get 5 or he will get 6. And there's a little bit of a chance, maybe 25 to 30%, that he gets 7+. So what I'm also going to look to do, Sharpie, I know, like, you and I have talked about doing this for multiple guys too, about looking for something to alt him down to 6 or over 5.5 or 6+, same thing, and put it in a parlay piece where you can get it at plus money. I can't get on board with the over 6.5 based on what I'm seeing, and I for sure can't now that Gordon's out of the lineup.
Yeah, just on strictly math with Rivera, and it goes from 7 to 6. So, I mean, he's going to strike him out, or it goes to, he's going to get him, bro, but it's like 6 exactly. But Gordon was going down 1.5 because he was in the 6 hole, so you project him to see him 3 times. He's seeing this Rivera guy twice, guys. Like, can he get him twice? Yes. Now he's gonna have to get De La Cruz and Bell 3 times, like, and that's to get 6. Just on strictly, with math, including chase contact, guys, because that's where I tend to see him where he freaking struggles. As he gets the Marlins, guys, who over their last 15 days versus right-handed pitching, they're not walking, striking out 23% of the time while having a bottom 5 isolated power. So let's just go see who they've seen that I would bet on. As the Guardians, but they didn't see Bybee. The Nationals, Mets, and Rays, all who don't have a right-handed pitcher who I would bet it over with. And the Cardinals, where Sonny Gray decided to pitch to contact on my ass. And Gray went 7.2 innings, gave up 2 runs, but yet had only 4 strikeouts. So these numbers, guys, are fraudulent. As they're not even hitting bums, guys. So what are they going to do with Kirby? As like I talked about it with Abbott, guys, we have a lot of games to look at and see where Kirby shines and when he doesn't. And when it comes to his K-prop over, guys, chase contact has always been an issue when it comes to his over, as well as zone contact, but more emphasis, guys, on the chase contact. And when we look at the projected lineup, we have 5 guys who are league average or worse when it comes to chase contact, with 3 of those 4 who are actually the only good ones in this lineup in zone contact. So the over is actually there, guys, if we look at it, but that's just going off of just that straight up zone contact on chase contact. But then we've got to go look at the whiff, guys. And on whiff alone, I had him for 7, but that was with Gordon in the lineup. And Gordon was one of the 3 candidates I had at striking out multiple times in this game. He's no longer in this lineup, and yes, they did put him in with a guy who could strike out, but the number now has dropped to 6. I'm not betting 6, period. If that's the number I come up with, I'm not going to – there's why? I'm seeing 6, not 7. Now, I saw 7.5 with Shota earlier, so I bet it. Now, did he get it? No. But at the end of the day, I got to at least think I see something, guys, and not try to just make some frivolous shit up in the air. And now what I'm afraid of, guys, and I try not to think about prior bets, and let it affect bets, but I think I need to pay attention to this. And Chris, what does he throw? Fastball, what?
He throws his primary pitch to righties is a sinker, to lefties is a 4-seamer, and his put away pitch is to both.
Those were the only 2 I wanted to hear.
Oh, sorry.
Fastball, sinker. What does Sonny Gray throw?
The same thing.
You fucking right, bro. And I'm just having this guy coming out pitching the contact today versus a team that can't fucking hit nobody. And he probably goes 7+ innings today, guys, and has 5 fucking strikeouts, maybe 6. And that's what, dude, I've got to find a way to back him. I think he shoves today. I just don't want to be on his K-prop, guys. So I will be looking at a team total under or I'm not going to take him first 5 or anything like that. I want to back him. I don't want to back Seattle's bats. I personally like to solo it just on the one guy to do his fucking job, not him, and then 9 other guys to show up all of a sudden who ain't showed up all year. So Kirby's done this thing before to me, guys, last year versus Oakland, guys. Pitched to contact, pitched a great game. But the strikeouts weren't there when they should have been there, guys. And I see that same type of thing happening today, guys. So I will be looking to bet Kirby, but I'll be looking towards that team total under, whether it be first 7, first 5, or full game. I will tweet it out, but that's the way I will be betting Senor Kirby today.
Yeah, I put it in the chat that the if your book does offer exact Ks, small little fun bet on 6 exactly plus 300 is decent value based on what I'm seeing. If you really want, you can take whatever you were gonna bet and you can split it because the 5 exactly is at plus 325. So
the other day I had such a fat parlay on just
that's
what
fun money.
We're saying
nothing more.
Everything hit but Bryce Miller. Nola went over. I just played whatever the books were saying on a fucking parlay. Bryce Miller went out there and fucking threw 1 strikeout versus Cleveland. I was like, you bastard. I knew you sucked. But, the books aren't always right, guys. But when I put 4 things on a parlay and they were right on 3 of the 4, they'll take 75% every day.
Yeah. Yeah. I just, like I said, with the band stuff that I've been studying, I've seen this movie before. Whenever it's negative juice, a high percentage of the time, it's one of the numbers in the band, which is why I said if you want to protect yourself and just to throw some fun money on it, you can do half of whatever you were going to bet on the 6 exactly and do 5 exactly, 6 exactly, and you will get plus 325 and plus 300. Now that the lineup is out, the new updated band, it's holding steady at minus 134. So to me, what they're saying is, please, with the way the line's set now, they're saying, please give us over money. Please take the bait with this plus money, because we don't want to move it to 5.5, because then we might be underweight, because people then will smash the over more on 5.5.
5-6 is happening, bro.
I'm telling you,
it's happening. And
That's
he's
what
going to
happens-
go 6,
what
7,
happens when
8.
they do it.
Oh, bro, don't be screaming at the TV, guys. I told my guys on the Sonny Gray thing, like, we're fucked. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
21 pitches, 4 innings. Oh, fucked.
Yeah.
They're such a free swinging team, guys. And if he's throwing sinkers at them, it's just going to be ground ball after ground ball after ground ball. And this dude, velocity on his sinker is legit, guys. Like, he's not throwing no peanut butter pitch up there.
And the distinction that I have too is he'll strike the guys out that he needs to, not go actively looking for strikeouts. And that's a big distinction when you're thinking about playing a number like a 6.5, because you can do that with Chris Sale, because Chris Sale goes K hunting. He goes strikeout hunting. Is that, nope, you know what? I got this guy down 0-2. I'm getting this fucker at the plate. Whereas you have a George Kirby where it's like, hey, I'm going to throw something kind of off the zone so that we can get some weak contact. And like I said, I'll go after a strikeout when I need to. That's the distinction between a pitcher like Kirby and a pitcher like Sale.
Yes, sir. Let's talk the last guy on the board, and that is Dylan Cease versus the Brewers, striking people out this year at who gives a damn. Morning line, stump 6.5 minus 145 DraftKings, or 8.5 plus 120 on FanDuel, and it's the same exact line still. Pitching out 17.5 minus 175 juice to the over, whereas earned runs are at 2.5 minus 165 juice to the under. Projected, I don't even write the projected in there this time. My bad. But let me go. I'll get run. I think it's 6-2.
It's 5-4.
5-4. There you go. 5-4 projected lineup. Let's talk Dylan Cease.
All right. So this line to me is danger, and let me explain to you why. I might be off on this one, and I'm gonna wait to see what happens when the lineup comes out. But oh man. Okay, so let's go through it. First of all, Milwaukee has the second lowest chase rate in the league. It's the one thing hitting wise that they do well, or reasonably well, 28.1%. The only team the team that chases just as much or little as they do is the Anaheim Angels. Now, you might ask yourself, what does that have to do with it? Well, as it turns out, granted it was on the road, but Mr. Cease pitched against these same Angels on June 5th and recorded 6 strikeouts and went under his prop. Now, the other thing in play here is that last 30 days against right-handed pitching, Milwaukee is walking 10% of the time. Why does that matter? Well, when you don't chase, you obviously take a lot of pitches, but Cease is in the zone 47.4% of the time. That's under pitcher average of 48.6. The other thing is that Cease, after he gets a 1-0 count, meaning like ball one, is that 21.7% K percentage. That is a huge drop from his overall, and a huge drop from when he goes down 0-1. So yeah, this is where you can't just look at stuff like hit rates. You have to look at the makeup of the team he's facing tonight. And this team has some contact issues and they have some swing issues, which I'll get to in just a moment. But what they don't do is they don't chase outside the zone. They don't take the bait, especially early in the count. I'm waiting 1000% for lineup on this one because the lineup construction will dictate a lot. Now, if they're going to bat Perkins and they're going to bat him anywhere above ninth, I think that I probably, and put a lot of other guys in, I have to look at the over, just because his whiff percentage to a slider is 45.7%, which is outrageous. And his zone contact, and I use zone contact for this team specifically because they don't chase. His zone contact is way below league average. It's almost 10% below league average. So the other thing that I found here is when when Cease walks 2+ hitters, he is 2 and 4 to 7+ strikeouts, which is what he has to get tonight. His walks line is a 1.5, heavily juiced to the over at -170. I don't think it's out yet, but the umpire is also going to determine a lot. The umpire actually determines more for me for Milwaukee than you might think because they chase so much. I don't necessarily need Alfonso Marquez or Bill Miller. Like I don't need the extremes here, but I can't play an under just because of how bad some of these contact metrics are. But what I'm not going to do is charge in and pay -145, -150, whatever the case might be, on a 6.5 line when I have a team where multiple guys that they can put in are going to take the first pitch that Cease throws. He's not as accurate as you might think early in the count. And when you if you're going to walk this team 10, 11% of the time, getting 7 based on the number of hitters he's expected to face, tall ask. So I'm not saying that you should just run for the hills, and I'm certainly not saying you should play under 6.5. What I'm saying is, based on how the lineup is constructed and who the umpire is, this might be one to just steer clear of.
We're not getting Bill Miller. He's in Seattle.
Yep.
We got Seattle, but he doesn't. That has nothing to do with Miami, as they're not going to take. They're going to swing at everything anyways.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I learned from you, bro. Come on, like as someone said, bro. Like I'm a student too, bro. If you can't keep learning and learning and learning, bro, you're not going to get better, bro. Because this shit, you got to adapt. We're not going to get Lance Barrett. Dang. Okay, maybe we get old CB Buckner, Maybe we get the old Buckinator, guys. So let's talk. Dylan Cease gets the Brewers, whoever his last 15 days versus right-handed pitchers. They're walking tops in the league, only striking out 21.5% of their at-bats, yet they have a bottom 5 isolated power. So let's go see who they've seen in these numbers. As Hunter Green went 5 innings, gave up 2 earned runs, but only struck out 5 because he walked 5. Then a series versus the Angels, who don't have a right-handed pitcher at bat, Blue Jays, where they miss Gosman, and the Tigers, where they miss Flaherty. So their numbers actually should be worse, and they're already bottom 5 in isolated power. Now, the issue with me, guys, that Dylan Cease, he's almost on the Rodon level for me right now. As this guy is a fucking anomaly, as he has great games when he shouldn't, shit games when he should have a great game. It'll do the exact opposite the next time out, just to go fuck with you and let you know that no one knows, not even him, have a good game. So, we'll look at past history, guys. It's small sample size, but it says we can go over as some do strike out and some don't. We look at the whiff to his 2 main pitches. There are a few for the most part that don't, but yet when we take out the whiff from his pitches and multiply it by zone contact, I end up with 5.5 on a super bad day and 9 on a great day. And where we see the books have 2 different numbers on this K percentage, and the past history doesn't say jump it up. The K percentage of the Brewers doesn't say jump it up. We got to pay attention. Now, the lineups aren't out yet, and we'll go from it as there. You got to take your cap in with it as well, guys. And if I got them for 9 on a great day, and they want to play their little hoe games, and they give me an umpire that is not a cuck. Like I had this written in as well. Like I wanted Bill Miller though. I know, but now he's not there. But I prefer a pitcher's umpire, guys, as like he said, guys, these guys are walking top of the food chain. And it's not just he said he's 2-4 when he walks 2 or more. When the guy walks 3 or more, he's 0-3 to the over, not getting more than 6 in a game, guys. So the more walks with this guy, the less strikeouts. He can walk himself out of a game numerous of times throughout his career. That's the reason why he's gonna lose, guys, if he doesn't hit, is his walks. Now, they don't let you bet his walks at a price to where you could bet both. Now, if it was 2.5 plus money on that, you can get money both ways and get in there, because if he don't walk 3, he probably hits that 7-8. Now, what they're telling us is he's getting, what is that, 7, maybe 8, but he's getting 7 at this point is what this shit's telling me. Now, are they always right? No, but I see it, guys, as they don't chase, but the zone contact is pretty bad throughout this lineup. The whiff to his pitches is pretty bad. If you get an ump that just gets in their head and makes them swing, oh Lord, they could fall into a giant day. But strictly by the numbers and everything, guys, it says it's there to have a bad day as well. So if they force my hand, put in like a Bowers as well, fuck it, dude, fuck. There's 3 guys I have not striking out. Now, if they strike out, great. I also want to see where they're at. Right now, they have Ortiz and Frelick towards the back and Terang up front. Now, Yelich can be a bitch as well, guys, as it says he struck about 1 and 3 times, but he only whiffs at a slider, makes really good zone contact, and doesn't chase. So, can he get him? Yeah. But can he not? Yeah. And that might come down to a 7, guys, in my opinion. So, 3 guys not striking out, where are they going to put them? That means something to me, as well as the umpires, guys. So, it may just be a complete pass on Dylan Cease. As like I said, he's almost made it to the Rodon level with me. So if I bet is over, he'll go fucking under. If I bet is under, he'll go fucking over. So you probably won't see me bet the fuck too. So there you go.
Yeah. It's a tough one. And the other thing you can look to do is if they do go, like let's say that their top 4 are Terang, Yelich, Frelick, and Ortiz, chances are pretty good that Cease won't start the game with a lot of Ks. Maybe after the first inning or 2, you can get a better number that you can jump on live. And that's why, like guys like myself and this man next to me, that's why we go hitter by hitter. And that's why team trends and team hit rates and stuff like that, I'm sorry, but like, it's a guide, but in the end, to me, it doesn't really mean shit, because you have to go hitter by hitter. You can actually find a lot of live spots by saying, because Sharpie, we've traded text messages before where we're like, okay, the top of this lineup, like the first 5 don't have a lot of whiff percentage, and we think it's going to be real close to the number. So what do? You wait for the first 5 to bat, and then you take the over, or you see what the number is at. Stuff like that, you'll never ever learn or know if you don't look at least glance at some metrics hitter by hitter, or you talk to us and we'll give it to you.
Yeah, 2 days a week, baby. Appreciate you guys all for tuning in. I will tweet out any action that I pull as I'm looking to back Kirby, just not his strikeouts, probably team total under or outs over, but either which way, I'll be looking to back him. Flaherty will probably be a half unit play for me, guys, once the lineup comes out.
Yep.
I told you guys I can't go full unit, not when a guy has back problems, not when I know he's only going 90, 92, 3 pitches, guys. I'd like to know the guy can be pushed to 100, but if they ran out the 7 guys that I'm thinking they're going to run out that chase, yeah, have fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to be careful. So, Abbott, guys, it's telling me I have to play him, but it's gonna be hard.
Yep,
I
get it.
Pull my nuts out my stomach and actually bet the guy.
I get it.
It says that I should be betting him today, and yeah, we'll get there when I get there, if I get there. So appreciate you guys all for tuning in. Smash that like button if you haven't. We do this out of our own generosity. Spin Doc, tell them what you got going on and where they can find you, my boy.
All right, at Spin Doc Sports, you can find me there. I will be having at least one public play tonight and throughout the weekend. There's plenty of ones to choose from tonight. I'm just waiting for these lineups to come out so I can finalize my card, get it out to the VIP, and then we'll get out the public stuff. So if you're interested in VIP for it's at a very reasonable entry cost, especially for the weekend, where you can get in for cheap and kind of do a trial, test it out. Hit me up at Spin Doc Sports. Would love to share the stuff with you.
Yes, sir. Until next time, guys, I'm Sharpie's Bets. I am not your dad. Stop asking me questions.